Hi everyone. In this video, I'll be sharing my experience with the Solplanet app and the settings that have worked well for me. My system includes 6.6 kilowatts of solar panels, a 30 kilowatt VoltX Solplanet battery, and a 10 kilowatt Solplanet inverter. I'm currently with GloBird on the ZeroHero plan, and I'll explain how I've used the app to get the most out of my solar and battery setup. Please do your own research based on what energy plan, solar and battery setup you have. The information contained in this is specific for my plan and circumstance and might not suit what you have and is only provided for educational purposes. When opening the Solplanet app, you have a home screen as shown here. Clicking on the icon, you get to a new screen that shows you the stats. It shows what the panels, battery, home and grid are doing in real time. This screen provides a real-time overview of your entire system. At the moment, the solar panels are generating 3.126 kilowatts of power from sunlight. Because the panels are producing enough energy to meet the home's needs, the battery is not discharging and is currently supplying 0 kilowatts. The home's electrical load is 324 watts, which is relatively low. This could simply be a few appliances running, such as a refrigerator, lights, or other small household devices. Since the home's energy demand is low, the excess solar power is being exported back to the grid. In this example, 2.803 kilowatts is being sent to the grid. To get the most out of the Solplanet app, you'll need to customize some of the settings. When I was setting up my system, I found there was very little information available online and very few practical tutorials, which is one of the reasons I decided to create this guide. We will now look at what settings we can change. Find the word Devices at the bottom of the screen. Select or click on Devices. You will get this new screen showing the devices on top. Hybrid inverter, comms device, battery. Then on the top, select battery. Once you have selected battery, then you need to click on the battery icon, and in this shot it shows 16% APH. Click on that or the right arrow next to it. When the battery screen opens, it will provide details about the battery. All you're interested in is the gear icon. Tap on that to see more settings. It will give you two options, and you will select battery settings. Now we come to the meat and potatoes where you have a range of options to choose from. The default setting is self-consumption mode. You have a reserve power mode, custom mode, off-grid mode, and time of use mode. Each one serving a purpose. Self-consumption mode sort of tells you what it will do. Self-consumption mode says use the panels and battery to minimize grid use. And this mode might suit most people. For this demonstration I am not going to discuss reserve power mode or off-grid mode. One thing to know in this setting screen, at the bottom, you will see battery charge maximum and battery discharge minimum. Battery charge maximum is set to 100%, meaning it must charge the battery fully. Then we have battery charge minimum and it is set to 10%. This means we do not want the battery to have less than 10% storage at any time. 10% is the bare minimum as a reserve, to ensure a longer battery life. Okay, let's explore custom mode. Click on Set. The first thing on your screen you will see is Charge Power. And then below that, Discharge Power. These both are customizable to whatever you want to set it to. The default is normally what energy your inverter is capable of importing and exporting. My inverter is 10 kilowatts, so it is capable of importing 10,000 watts and exporting 10,000 watts. Charge means import. It means energy coming from panels or grid. Discharge means export. It means energy going from the battery to the home or grid. Also, charge here means how much energy is allowed to be pumped into the battery, and I want to maximize this, so I want 10 kilowatts to be charged into the battery either from the panels or grid. Use this setting if you have plenty of excess energy you want to sell to the grid at peak times. Click on the charge schedule settings to go to the next screen. Here you can see a sample I set up that specify the days of the week and what you want to do on those days. When you want to charge and when you need to discharge, etc. Click on the right arrow to change those settings. You will get a new screen with customizable times for charge and discharge times for that day. You can add more slots to suit your needs. With the 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. slot, the 3-hour period I chose for testing, I wanted the battery to supply energy for my home. I found that it was discharging the battery at the full 10 kilowatts. The home was using 3 kilowatts. And this setting was sending 7 kilowatts to the grid. 7 kilowatts was excess to what the home needed. Remember, on the previous screen, I set discharge to 10 kilowatts. Here the battery is being told to do exactly that. Discharge 10 kilowatts however you can. Discharge to home or grid or both. This was not good for me. At 10 p.m. I had 0 battery left as it was discharging too much between 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. I changed my discharge to 5 kilowatts in the settings. This was not good either, as with my GloBird plan, I get a $1 per day reward for not pulling energy from the grid between 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. In winter, one more heater could quickly send you over 5 kilowatts because the battery is limited to discharge at 5 kilowatts. The home is now using 6 kilowatts, it takes 1 kilowatt from the grid and I lost my daily saving, plus I am paying peak rates for grid energy. To fix this I had to come up with another plan. That plan was to use time of use mode. But before we go into that, let's finish custom setup. Once you have set up your custom times, and you only need to do this for one day, select copy. It will show a radio red button for the one you wish to copy. Next, select the days you want to copy to. It will radio button them blue. It's a very handy feature. Lastly, click Confirm to lock in the custom setting times. To make custom mode effective, you need to click Confirm at the bottom of the screen to lock in this mode. Do not forget to do this. Once you select Confirm, the new settings will typically take effect immediately. Now we come to the time of use mode. This one I find really useful for GloBird's energy plan I am using. And it is the one that puts my battery, panels, and grid to the most efficient use using the GloBird's current ZeroHero plan. This plan is not for everyone. If you have a decent battery and inverter, then it could work for you too. However, please do your research to check what off-peak rates are to ensure your battery will cover. OK. Click on the word Set to view Time of Use Mode, Settings. As with custom mode, you will see the same settings. This allows you to choose a day and time of day. Now, select any day of the week to go into further settings. In this screen, you have options such as battery first or load first. For my setup I chose load first. This means I want to use the panels, battery or grid to feed the home first. Whichever has energy available to give, make sure the home's has energy. In this setting, you can add up to a maximum of 6 time slots. Here I have used 5 slots. The 5 slots are working really well for me. To explain each. From midnight to 8 a.m. in the morning, I am telling the system, push out 5 kilowatts and do not go below 10% of battery. I do this because hardly any energy consumption is taking place during midnight to 8 a.m. Most days I am having approximately 20% of battery left by 8 a.m. in winter. 8 a.m. is normally when usable sunlight is available in winter for the panels to start generating energy in July-August. 8:30 a.m. and 9 a.m. the panels are doing its work or starting to do its work. Between the panels and the battery, they provide sufficient energy for the home. From 9:30 a.m. onwards, the panels are feeding the grid in my case. I generally have excess energy, and most people who have solar will know this. During this time the battery sits around 10 to 15%, which is where I want it to be. The next slot is the 8 a.m. to 11:55 a.m. slot. No changes here as it is exactly as above. I keep it just in case I need to modify it for some reason, so it is a backup. In summer, I will delete it and use the battery from midnight to 11:55 a.m. The 11:55 a.m. to 3 p.m. is the most important for me for my energy plan with GloBird. This is the winner. On this plan, it is free electricity from noon to 3 p.m. up to a max of 50 kilowatts. So I want the battery to be charged to 100% using the grid. Discharge must be set to 0. It must not use the battery for anything. It must only import energy from solar and grid and pump it into the battery and home to the maximum import of 10 kilowatts. By 2:30 p.m. most days this setting gets the battery to 100% in winter if it is not too cloudy or raining. Next is the 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. slot. Discharge 0 kilowatts, basically use panel or grid only during this time. This will change in summer too and won't be needed. But for winter, I still want to preserve my battery and keep 100% for as long as I can. Here a 42 kilowatts battery would have been good. Though on most days the 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. slot is still sunny, so solar panels, normally, covers it adequately, but on a very cloudy or raining day, a 42 kilowatts could shine. Remember, this is my setup based on my household consumption, yours would be different. Next is the 4 p.m. and midnight slot. The key time I want to use battery only. Using discharge at 10 kilowatts here is different from custom use, and you'll see in a minute. I want to use the battery panels only. I especially want 0 import from grid during this time. I keep the battery on 25%. This is a reserve for the night and for early morning use, until 8 a.m. when the sun is more out. So here is an example of the midnight to 8 a.m. setting. Grid charge is off, meaning use only battery. Remember, if your battery runs out, the system will still use grid energy to power your home. You won't be without power. And this is my noon to 3 p.m. settings. Grid charge is on. That's important. Battery discharge is set to 0. That's important too. We want no discharge of battery allowed. SOC, state of charge, is set at 100%. We are telling the system, charge battery fully. Once you have 1 day slots all filled in, come back to this screen. Select the day you want to copy, it will show as a red radio button. Select the days you want to copy Monday's schedule to. For example, if you want to copy it to Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. It will highlight the new days with a blue radio button. Click Confirm to apply the copy to those days. Most importantly, for time of use mode to be effective, click Confirm to lock in the time of use mode. Enjoy and thanks for watching.